feel good today. What's up, universe? I got to tell you, I woke up this morning feeling like $1,000,000. This is your daily sports and sports betting brand of record. We like to call it Driving the Line. We're here every single day at 10 a.m. Eastern time with the best crew in the business. Is it a busy, busy week? If you missed us last night and you are a crew member, you can watch DTL After Dark. We broke down every single one of the Sweet 16 games that are coming up this week. You want to check it out. If you're not a crew member, do it right now. Also, later today, DTL Golf, 3 p.m. Eastern time. We break down the Houston Open. But as always, we are the most transparent show in all of sports betting. And it was kind of a ho-hum day for us. We're used to winning days. Every now and then, we tell you all the time, you're going to have either an even day or losing a little juice. But your boy came through strong last night, sweat-free, 2-0. So with that being said, let's bring in the star of the show. My partner, we call him the 5-tool player. A.B. Allan Bell. How are you today, sir?
Good morning, Coach. Fantastic, man. Good morning to the crew. Good morning to everybody.
So real quick, before I got a little story I got to tell, but before we do that, I need to know, because it's a bounce back day for the show and for the crew. What are the choices today?
All right. 4 solid options from 2 games in the NBA today. The crew has, all right, take a look. The Warriors -1.5, or the Heat +1.5, or you can take the Thunder -1.5, or the Pelicans +1.5. The poll is in the chat. Vote now, and we will update at the end of the show.
It's going to be interesting to see who they go with, because, you know, the chat normally likes to go against your boy. So I am involved in those games as well. So we'll see if, once again, I need to teach the chat a lesson. Now, AB, in the chat, I just saw this note. Hey, AB and Coach, what's up? Thank you for helping to make my days a whole lot better, along with Charles, Amen, Howie, Raphael. I really appreciate it. Well, AB, I got 2 notes yesterday. True story. 2 notes yesterday. And the first one simply said, Coach, can you please tell your crew I believe they're a first-class organization? First class. Kind of like that, AB. And then I got another note. And you know what it said? It said, a first-class whiskey for a first-class show. This showed up in my house yesterday. Are you kidding me right now? Gold Bar Whiskey? And they want to be a part of this show? Look at this bottle. Look at this bottle. It's an actual gold bar. This, AB, is how you get my attention. What do you think?
So first off, all right, I know that the crew was mentioned as first class, which they are. That bottle is first class. Look at that thing. A gold bar. Looks like it's straight out of Fort Knox. I like it. Number 2, it kind of looks like the Lombardi Trophy, like you just won the Super Bowl, right? Like, that's the perfect bottle to have in your house. And with me, that bottle would be empty because I would be hammering that gold bar, but we'd still keep the bottle. I like it.
I'm so glad you mentioned that, because the one word comes to mind when you talk about the taste. Smooth. Oh, it's smooth, AB. Who knows? Maybe I could talk to the good people at goldbarwhiskey.com and they can send you a bottle, AB. I know people.
Make that phone call.
Thank you to Gold Bar Whiskey. All right, let's waste no more time. We got a lot to talk about, educate and entertain, but you come here for the fire picks. First and foremost, let's get to them. Oh, Scott says, hey, Coach, I got my glass here. When are we sharing it? Scott, I would love to share a shot of this with you sometime. Maybe we'll take the show on the road. Who knows? If we get big enough. Look at that. Chris Touche. Look who I have today. The man from the dirty Charles is always here. Raphael. Boom! Our numbers guy. Always here. Howie. Last night, you were clearly the star of the show on DTL After Dark. Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Happy to be involved.
We're happy to have you involved, Howie. All right, let's get to it, because we got a full slate. And do not forget, Major League Baseball starts on Thursday. We will have picks, but we're going to ease into the season. I can't believe it's almost here. Also, Sweet 16 on Thursday. But today, as I look at my notes, you know what? I want to stay in the college basketball world. So, Howie Schwab, if you don't mind, start us off.
Well, I did stay in the college world. I did NIT, and both are interesting games. I like Georgia to cover against Ohio State. Very impressed with Georgia in their win against Wake Forest. Then you have Indiana State, who should have been in the NCAA tournament. I think they'll take off Cincinnati. And there you go. You got 2 basketball games today.
What's the name of that big boy at Indiana State that we love so much here at the show? What's his name?
Kareem
Raphael,
Abdul-Jabbar.
We got Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Larry Nerd, College Jokic, Larry Blurred, Steph Blurry, and my favorite of all time, Milk Chamberlain.
And that's how you produce a show, ladies.
By the way, it'll be interesting to see if Indiana State's coach stays around or goes somewhere else with all these openings.
Oh, interesting.
He gone.
Is he a hot commodity?
Yeah.
A lot of people want him. Yep. By the way, shout out to one of our crew members, DG, until he gets a better nickname. Today's a big 4-0. Find me some winners, boys. Charles, you better not let me down. Oh, Charles. He's coming right at you, right between the eyes. So I guess I am too, big boy, because I'm looking at this. And my notes tell me that we don't have league play right now, but guess where they don't care if it's a league ticket or a Euro 24 ticket. Where is that, Charles?
Yeah, on the hot seat, Coach. Yeah, Euro qualifiers, Ukraine, Iceland. The final 6 countries square off today with the 3 winners booking their spots in the Euros this summer. Ukraine, they entered this contest as the betting favorite, scoring 2 goals last week, with the Ukrainians hitting the back of the net in 8 of their last European outings. Meanwhile, Iceland continued to shock many. The tiny nation produced 4 goals as underdogs versus Israel and scored in 9 of their past 10 European fixtures. With this game being played on neutral ground in Poland, I expect a more even matchup than many would expect, with each team capable of matching one another on the offensive end. So we'll go ahead and grab the over 2.25 full-time goals. That way, if it just lands on 2, you get half of your stake back, and plus the both teams to score, which is at shocked me, is actually at plus money.
Oh, I like it. So those are our 2 soccer plays. Charles, I'll come back to you for that hockey play if you don't mind. Charles is all business today. He's not joking around. He's straight to business today. I appreciate that.
All business. All right. Hey, look, Charles is going to be serious. Whenever Poland's involved, yeah, this means something.
It means something.
You know me, Bizzle. You know me.
Did you just say, you know me, Dizzle?
Bizzle.
I don't even know what that means, but I like it. All right, Raphael, let me come to you. There's a reason you had all those nicknames. A, we're overgrown children here at Driving the Line. B, you clearly researched Indiana State tonight to kind of back up how he's coming from. Why do you like Indiana State? And then give me your props, sir.
Well, because don't forget, they get this game at home. Hopefully, maybe Jimmy Chipwood comes in this game and hits that last-second shot, but we won't need it. They're 15-1 at home, Indiana State. I was not sold on Cincinnati on how they played Minnesota or when they played Bradley in their last game. They struggled in the first half. They were ice cold in the first half. They got motivated in the second, but they can't do that against Indiana State. Who they beat up, put up 101 points against SMU. I just think Indiana State at home laying a 3.5, which this number will be 4 by tip-off because the public will be all over this. I think last time I checked, 93% of the money was on Indiana State, and that was 2 big bets coming in. I like Indiana State at home in the Fulton Center. Or the Holman Center.
Wow. 93%. 93%. Interesting. So clearly, I'm going to go next with the Pelicans, but I need you to tell me why you like CJ McCollum to go nuts tonight with his points, with his rebounds, and with his assists, Raphael.
Since Bai got injured his last 2 games, he's blowing up. Scored 23 points against Detroit, 30 against Miami. And that was a heat in Miami. Remember, Jimmy Butler said, hey, you guys are coming to our backyard next time because they had that big brawl at New Orleans. I just think CJ goes off again, points, rebounds, and assists, 29.5. He's hit this thing back-to-back games, 3 out of 5. I just CJ has a big game with 29.5. I think this one just rolls over.
Oh, boom, boom, and boom. Quick question from the chat. AB, I'm coming over to you, big boy. Scott says, I have 4 college baseball picks. I love to parlay. Wake Forest, Georgia, Miami, and NC State. What do you think?
Wake Forest, again, an absolute must win. We say that every single week. They've got to get some wins up. Georgia just came off a huge weekend sweeping Alabama. Miami, in NC State. Look, I don't know that I would parlay 4 teams together, but again, Scott, you've been crushing these. So I know that we talk, off air, during these games. So don't hate it, but I might split those up and just build yourself a little bit of risk insurance. You know what I mean? Midweek games can be weird.
There you go. By the way, today at 2:00 Eastern, we will release, as we always do, This Week in Baseball. As my man AB always is telling you what is coming up in the world of college baseball. There is nobody better. I tell you that all
Coach,
the time.
Can I say that going off of that, let me say this, a congratulations to the chat, because when we started the season, we're entering week 7. When we started the season, all right, we have a thing called the rotation, and these are teams that are just statistically phenomenal when you bet on them. Oregon State, we started from the beginning, knew that they were going to be good. They've been so good, and the crew has cashed so many Oregon State tickets that the books have completely taken them away from them whatsoever. They won't even let them bet on them anymore. It's hilarious.
We're not just moving lines. We're literally moving teams off the board, Raphael.
Yeah.
That's how we do it. Go tell your old bosses that. Tell them BTL is coming.
It's college baseball. They'll get mad if they lose $1 on, because they ain't getting two-way action. They're only getting one. I can guarantee you they're probably getting 90% Oregon State action, less than 10% on the other team they're playing. That's why they're taking it off the board.
Interesting. I like it having him on our side. I really, really do. All right, it's time for my 3 picks. And if you didn't notice, somebody last night went 2-0. Sweat free. Tonight, we're going to do it again and add one in the process. So I'm going Lakers Bucks over 232.5. The Lakers have got to start playing better. They're an over machine. The Bucks get going at home against LeBron James. Remember, it's about motivation. It's about playing against stars. And there are stars all over the court tonight. Love this over. Then Pelicans plus 1.5 at home against the Thunder. Hey, guess what? Pelicans are for real. I like the Thunder. If you're going to give me the Pelicans at home, getting any amount of points, I'll take it, plus 1.5. And then the Kings on the money line, minus 115. They have won 4 of their last 5 games. They're playing at home. They want to make a late push into the playoffs. So I love the Kings tonight at home on the money line. All right, let's go to the ice. Charles, we're in Chicago. You're up.
Chicago, this is another matchup that I've rode for goals over the past few years, with 7 of the last 8 meetings cashing over tickets. Plus, Calgary games have been high scoring as of late, with 9 of the Flames' previous 13 results having surpassed the total. Chicago has been just as potent, with the Blackhawks games going over in 5 of the last 6. Once again, if I could get an even 6 at minimal juice, based on these teams' history, sign me up. So we'll go ahead and grab the over 6, Calgary and Chicago.
Charles, I really feel like you could use a bottle of Gold Bar whiskey. Could you, Charles?
Send it my way, Coach.
Send it my way, Coach. Truer words have never been spoken. Now, you guys know at the end of this section, every single Tuesday, we make you feel good. You just let it wash all over you, because this is the time, this is the place where we just absolutely change lives. AB, you're up.
There is a risk that we're playing today, and I want everyone to know it. Aaron Nation said it in the chat, and he said it perfectly, because absolutely correct. Coastal Carolina against Clemson. Clemson is on fire. Not only is Aaron correct, Clemson is playing the best baseball in all of college baseball right now. But the reason that we're playing Coastal is this. If anyone has watched Clemson their last 8 games or so, legitimately, they have been all insane. Grand slams in the bottom of the 9th, all kinds of things going on. And Clemson has won every single one of them. All of them. It's got to change. It's got to change. And I'm going to take a chance on Coastal Carolina today at plus money. I think that Coastal might take this game a touch more serious than Clemson might. It could look like an idiot if it's Clemson 9-0 in the first inning, but we're going to take our shot there with the Chanticleer. Second, Florida State, money line, -115. They're at home today against Florida. Everyone knows Florida is on the list, even though they're playing better baseball as of right now. Ranked number 6 in the country. Florida State coming off a brutal weekend against Clemson. They need to take care of business today. It means something in Tallahassee. Going to go with the Florida State Seminoles money line, -115.
You know, there's a lot of picks up there on the screen, and there's a lot of questions that could be asked, but I just have one. Do you want to do the work? I didn't think so. AB, well freaking done. Well freaking done. Now, this is not just a sports betting show. We're also a sports show. We discuss because then things could have a betting impact down the road. That's what we're all about. So we got to drop Charles off because it's time to educate and entertain. Oh, do we have a bunch of stories today? We start right out here in La La Land because I don't know if I believe my man Shohei Ohtani. That is topic number 1 today. He met with the media yesterday before their latest preseason game after they played a regular season. It's all kind of confusion, but he backed himself into a big time corner. Listen to this.
まずはじめに、僕自身は、何かにかけたりとか、誰かに代わって、そのスポーツイベントにかけたりとか、それをまた頼んだり、っていうことはないですし、僕の口座からブックメーカーに対して、誰かに送金を依頼したことももちろん全く、ありません。
So I never bet on baseball or any other sports, or never have asked somebody to do it on my behalf, and I have never went through a bookmaker to bet on sports.
So, AB, do we believe, Shohei, that he didn't do any of this?
Number one, the chat yelled at me yesterday saying, oh, he's going to speak English. No. Did you listen to that? All right. Good job by the new interpreter. All right. Tough. That's a tough inning to come in on. Came in with bases loaded. Had to get out. All right. 0 outs there. I liked the interpreter writing things down like he didn't know exactly what was going to be said and what he was going to say beforehand. Yeah, I don't believe it, but I don't know if it's going to be proven either. I think it's good. There's a lot of muddy waters right here in the middle. This is a tough subject because also if he's betting on soccer, who cares, right? Like if he's not betting on baseball, correct, who cares? So if it's just soccer, like I don't know. It worries me that we're going through all of these steps if it's just soccer, because legally I would have just said he bet on soccer. What the hell are we doing? Like, what does it matter? So there's some things in the middle. Yeah.
Yeah, Schwan 50 AB said exactly that. Why not just say I bet some soccer? And when you say I've never done any of it, Howie, he literally backed himself into the corner. So now he has to stick to that story. Your take?
Well, he's got 2 stories. 1, I didn't bet, and 2, hey, I'm a brilliant guy. I let my other interpreter have $4.5 million out of my account, and I had no idea. Interesting. I don't think he's a dummy, but yet you'll wonder. I'll say this. If he went on public record saying that he does not gamble or did not gamble, and they find out he did, he's in for a long, long suspension.
That's exactly right. And that's where I was going, Raphael, is now, even if it is just soccer, to AB's point, he now has said, I didn't do any of it. So now how do you interpret that if Major League Baseball finds out that he did bet on some of these games?
Well, you have to think about it. He had to say he didn't bet on anything, or no, I didn't bet on soccer, because you can't bet in California. So automatically you're betting an illegal bookmaker. So that just puts him in more deep waters if he said he did bet on soccer, betting it illegal with an illegal bookmaker. So I kind of agree where he went. I didn't bet on anything because you cannot bet in California. So I think that's where he went. I was hoping he would have said I did not have sex or relations like Bill Clinton, because I wanted to see what the interpreter would have said that one. I was waiting for that, but he just dug himself a big hole because of California not having sports gambling. If California was legal, he could say, yes, I was betting on soccer at DraftKings with me and LeBron. We're doing parlays and stuff like that. But he's doing it with an illegal bookmaker. He had to cover his butt to say, no, I was not betting sports.
No question. AB, go.
The fact that they're coming out this strong and saying it means that they feel pretty damn good about where they sit in whatever happened. Because if you had a ton of risk and you're thinking, oh, God, they might get my phone, my emails, once the feds are fully involved, you're not saying anything on the record. So the fact, that they're talking and that Major League Baseball is allowing them to speak means they probably feel pretty good about where they sit and at least what's provable. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no question about it. And we're talking about a bookmaker who lives like 3 miles from where I'm sitting right now. And out here in this area, he doesn't have, as you can imagine, the greatest reputation. I don't know him, but I know people that know him. So it is what it is. And my point is, if he lets the cat out of the bag or he talks or whatever, is it even credible? Because he's already been on record in some reports as saying, bragging about using Shohei's name. So a lot to get through, but we'll see. I have a feeling it's just going to kind of go away, is my gut. This is kind of going to go away. Yes, Howie.
What's amazing is this was a speech written by the team. The team was involved in the writing of this. So I think lawyers got involved and people got involved, and it came across very smoothly. I'm not sure it should have.
I agree with that, too. Now, speaking of smoothly, Raphael, I got to start with you on this one, big boy. It has been nothing smooth at all about what's happening in Toronto. Jontay Porter out of the Raptors lineup last night. Why? Well, now he's being investigated for some interesting line movement when it comes to props that were bet on him. January 26th, March 20th. Raphael, you've been there. You work in the industry. If this is true or in some way he's involved in this, how big of a deal?
Oh, the biggest deal, like I told you, was he betting all his prop bets under? Because he only averages 4 points a game. So it's not like he was crushing the books or anything. But let's face it. I mean, the cat is out of the bag. When you have teams sponsored by sports books and all that, these kids who are in college right now who've been playing fantasy sports since high school, and now they make it to the pros, and now you have to tell them you cannot bet on prop bets, fantasy stuff, which they've been doing, again, since high school. The cat is out of the bag. Should they be able to bet on other sports besides them? Yes. But I think if you're betting NBA and you're in the NBA, 2-year suspension, boom. Or we'll do what the NFL does, boom, 1-year suspension, you're gone. I think that's the only way you're going to stop it. But you can't tell these kids you can't bet football when you're playing basketball, because they've been doing it since they went junior and seniors using their mom and dad's credit card.
100%.
You missed him, though? He gets suspended 2 years? What did he play, 3 minutes a game? Great.
Yeah.
Well, it's about sending a message, though, I think is what Raphael meant to
Absolutely.
other players.
I agree.
You know,
the league cannot have their integrity affected by this, and yet this story really, Adam Silver has got to be crawling up the walls over this.
Well, and the other thing is, AB, is you just signed a deal with DraftKings if you're LeBron James, and I don't care if they bet, but it does become a very muddy situation. And then you got LeBron James giving out during football season his picks for football games, and that led to a deal with DraftKings. So in the face of your league is a brand ambassador. Is that an issue too?
It is an issue. I mean, that there's a lot of gray area here. However, at the end of the day, look, these leagues and teams are going to say you can't bet on number one, you definitely can't be betting on your own sport.
Correct.
Remember last year to start the season, the Tennessee Titans had an offensive lineman that was betting other sports, but he was doing it inside the Titans facility, and he got a 4-game suspension, right? So look, it's just part of the deal. Now, these sponsorships, that money's going to have to be paid out to the union, to the players union, because if I'm going to be held to these rules, you're going to have to give me some of that money. But again, I mean, it's muddy, but the rules are the rules. if you would bet on yourself or your own sport, I mean, you're just an idiot. Like you're just
how
dumb.
stupid can you be?
You're just dumb. And I got to give a shout out because college kids are handling this so much better than professional players are. Granted, their money and checking accounts probably look a little different, but still, like we don't hear much in the college area. Yeah.
Raphael, go.
College kids are handling it differently, but they're betting differently. I know a handful of college bookies that just roam around college, and that's how those college kids are probably getting their action. They're not logging out of DraftKings, BetMGM, and stuff that they have somewhere else where they're getting their action on.
Oh, so they're intelligent. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, they're intelligent.
They shop.
Yeah, cash has no paper trail. There you go.
Now, speaking of college, speaking of betting, this has nothing to do with betting, but it could down the road. Now, if you're a Chargers fan, you were already probably ticked off that they hired Jim Harbaugh anyway. But then he was speaking to the media yesterday, and he was talking about his thoughts on his former quarterback at the University of Michigan. LA Chargers fans, this is your new head coach.
He's incredible. So big market, small market, it would cold weather, hot weather, it won't matter. And I've said it before, I think it's well documented. I think he's the best quarterback in the draft. And that's just what I think, just my opinion. He's the one who plays quarterback, of all the quarterbacks that are in the draft. There's great quarterbacks in the draft. I think he plays quarterback the best of any quarterback in the draft.
Of all the guys holding a football on the field that are called quarterback, he plays the best. What are you talking about, Howie? Not only is he a head coach now in the NFL, but he actually thinks that his guy, his game manager, J.J. McCarthy, is the best quarterback coming out into the draft this year. Your take?
Well, I guess Caleb Williams and Drake May and a bunch of other guys don't count, huh? I found it interesting they went on the campaign. First of all, Harbaugh doesn't need a quarterback. So unless he wants J.J. McCarthy as a backup behind Herbert, okay. But I think he was just a college coach praising a good player who played for him, period.
I agree. Raphael, yours.
I think the buzz came out of all this because J.J. McCarthy had a killer workout. And I think that's what made probably Jim Harbaugh maybe speak a little bit more. Now, if he had an average workout at his pro day, maybe he probably wouldn't have said anything. But this came all because of that buzz of that workout. So he had to say, that's his boy.
Well, Moshe says, AB, can you fault him? They've been side by side for years. I guess that's true. Your take?
Yeah, this is nothing more than a coach hyping up his guy, right? Like, I mean, it's been done for years and years and years. This is exactly what you're supposed to do. This is exactly what you're supposed to say. Because what else are you going to say? Nah, I don't think he's that good. I wouldn't draft him.
Terrible.
Yeah, you help your boy out. Here's the other thing, though. He might not be wrong. Take Jaden Daniels from LSU out of it. I don't want anything to do with Drake May. I don't want anything to do with Caleb Williams and his dad trying to fleece ownership of the NFL team. J.J. McCarthy's a dog. Like, do not put this guy down again. Jaden Daniels, LSU, he's the best talent overall, quarterback-wise. McCarthy's not that bad. He's not that bad. But yeah, I mean, this is a coach hyping his guy. Like that. That's
maybe I'm just annoyed that I had Alabama and they couldn't do it. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe I'll go back to the bowl game. Maybe that's what it is. All right, now let's go to the other end of the spectrum. Our last topic in Educate and Entertain. And this one, man, he's the gift that keeps on giving. I'm talking about one prime time, Deion Sanders. So his boy did not come out into the draft this year. A couple weeks ago, they said it's because I wanted to make sure that I was the number one pick in the draft next year. Well, now Deion is taking it a step further, talking about his son and Travis Hunter on a recent podcast. Take a listen. AB, I'm coming to you first. He literally just said, I'm going to pull an Eli. And for fans who don't know what that means, Eli Manning, 20-some years ago, was like, I'm not going there. I'm not playing there. And they traded him, and he got to play where he wanted to in New York. Your thoughts on Deion dictating over 12 months early what next year is going to look like.
Deion Sanders should go to the segment previous and look at Jim Harbaugh and how to handle this situation. That's how you talk, and that's when you stop. Deion has lost his mind. This doesn't do any good for anyone, and especially when you're talking. It's one thing if it's your kid. It's another thing if it's somebody else's kid, because all you're doing is taking money out of their pocket. You saying that isn't going to get them drafted higher. And then also he's talking about 2 players going top 4 in the same draft to the same team. Like what is he planning on in terms of like now he's dictating trades? Last part, did they get enough books back there? All right, that they had lined up PR wise. Was 6,000 books enough? I noticed that you didn't go the 2 lower rows. I don't know why we skipped those. You might as well. This is Deion selling a book. I love the coach in the full recruiting gear as well, getting that logo out there. Nice job on that. It is a complete sell job front to back. That's exactly what this is.
And Howie, I love the guy going, that's what I'm talking about. As if Deion is dictating the whole thing, Howie. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, first and foremost, it's like any of that or all of that could happen. Howie, your take?
Deion is Deion. I mean, I think that he's going to say whatever he wants. He's not going to be filtered. And that's life. And if you don't like it, go somewhere else.
Raphael, now, we always can bet on things. We can bet on who's going to go first in the draft. We can bet on if Deion starts talking like this over the course of the next year, do you think it will affect that market at all?
Well, it will, but you know what Colorado's total season wins for next year? It's 5.5. It's not like they're going to make a bowl game or a national championship. So he was just there to sell books. I mean, I can guarantee you Deion knows what their total season win number is. I can guarantee he knows what who they're playing and how they're going to play. This was just all about selling his books. Now, I would probably put some prop bets out during the season about his kid and draft situations. But total season wins 5.5. Bet it under.
Bet it under. AB, go.
Real quick, producer man, could you put that back up? I just want to see the amount of books that the marketing team decided to put behind Deion. It's an absurd amount of books. Like, I understand this game.
Where do you predict Shador and Travis?
Like, it's so many books, and then it pans to camera 2 on the left side, and there's another 8,000 books.
Can you imagine that ask, AB? So you're coming in on Monday. Could you send us 65 books, please?
Oh, my God. And, like, whoever had to line them up, right? Like, one was falling down, and you had to go back. Like, nobody move. Nobody move.
You know what they should have had behind him? A bottle of Gold Bar.
Yeah, there you go.
That's what he should have had. These would look better than 65 books. Holy.
Hey, shout out to Deion, though. You got to give Deion credit for this. He's selling books, all right, on Barstool's platform, being paid by Barstool to sell books that he makes money on. That's double revenue, and he brought his man to recruit. That's 3 levels. Respect to Prime on that one. My man has never missed on making money. Well done on that.
We say it all the time. There are levels to this game.
Yeah.
Scott says, Coach, you need to get 125 Gold Bar whiskey bottles behind you. That'd be a hell of a delivery, wouldn't it? It really would. All right. Oh, that was a really fun Educate and Entertain. If you came in a little bit late and you did not get the picks for today, never fear. We've got you covered. It's time for the whip around. We bring Charles back in real quick, by the way. Deion says that Atlanta, San Francisco, Dallas, Washington, Baltimore, those would all be acceptable cities for his son and Travis Hunter to play in. Just thought I would throw
Atlanta's interesting. The others are like Super Bowl contenders. Then he threw the Falcons in there. He must be a big Raheem Morris guy.
Apparently. And probably thinks Kirk Cousins is going to get hurt. I don't want to wish that into existence, but he is coming off an Achilles. All right. Charles, you always are so polite, sitting around waiting for us to discuss things on Educate and Entertain. This is where we do it. 10 seconds or less for each play. Charles, start us off.
Yeah, we have some good old Euro qualifiers. Ukraine, Iceland, over 2.25 full-time goals in the both teams to score. Lastly, NHL, Calgary, Chicago, over 6 goals.
Howie, you're up.
NIT, I'm taking a dog and a favorite. Usually that's how it works out in these doubleheaders. I'm going with Georgia to beat Ohio State. Georgia impressive the other day against Wake. Indiana State should have been in the NCAA tournament. Not, so they're on a roll now.
Raphael, you also like Indiana State. Talk to me.
Yeah, Indiana State minus 3.5. Milk Chamberlain at home. I'll take that one. 15-1 Milk Chamberlain and Indiana State are. So I'll take that minus 3.5. And CJ McCullough over 29.5 points, rebounds, and assists. And Deion Sanders Atlanta Falcons, which total season wins 10.5. Woo.
Wow, 10.5 for the Falcons. We got to keep an eye on that for our futures episode coming up in August. All right, I got 3 big plays today. Lakers Bucks over 232.5 minus 110. They are both over teams. They both play quickly. I think this one sails into the 240s. Pelicans plus 1.5. It's going to be a tough one at home against the Thunder, but I like the way the Pelicans are playing. Give me the points, minus 110. Then Kings on the money line. They've won 4 of their last 5. Are me and Big Cheesy really together one night and one night only? The answer is yes, AB. The answer is yes. Bring us home.
First off, shout out to my man Kyle Sterenberg in the chat. He's absolutely right. Deion played for the Falcons. I'm an idiot. I didn't even put those two together. So, Kyle, thank you for keeping me honest. Number 2, Charles, I like you going with Iceland. Is Wolf the Dentist Stanson still the coach of Iceland? I like that. That's a shout out if anybody knows what I'm talking about with that reference. And then lastly, college baseball, 2 plays. Coastal Carolina money line plus 120. Florida State money line minus 115. Let's get to the plate. Get some rips, boys. Rally time. Let's go.
Rally time.
Coach, can I get one thing in?
Of course.
Let's pray for the people in Baltimore. What happened at 4 a.m, I'm watching TV, and I see this, and I'm in shock. Having gone over major bridges in many places, and to think, hey, you're on a bridge, and then there goes the bridge. It's going to cause a lot of damage in a lot of ways. I don't want to get into politics, but it's sad, really sad. So let's pray for them.
Well said. No doubt about it. If you haven't seen the video, it's really, really scary. Howie, thank you very much. We appreciate that. All right, it's now time for the closing bell. All right, AB, it is a bounce back Tuesday for the good people in the chat. Where are they headed? Are they against me today?
They're going with the Warriors minus 1.5. Yeah, heavy percentage. I think 44% of the poll results all on the Dubs to get a dub and a cover.
Well, you know, we're giving out a few things from our merch store for the winners of the March Madness bracket. And I feel like tonight I need a little juice tonight. I need a little something. So we're going to do this. You better show up tomorrow right at the top of the show. And if the Warriors cover the minus 1.5, we will be giving away a driving the line. Sure, you get to pick which one you want, but you got to be here at the top of the show tomorrow, AB, and they're going to have to type in right when we get in. If the Heat win, well, then, of course, I don't have to pay because I'm the winner. Do you like that?
I do like it. Also, I like you referencing that I would have anywhere else to be at the beginning of the show tomorrow. So let's go. I'm in. I'll be here.
All right. Very, very good. And I didn't even mean for that to come out like that. So
no, it's hilarious. I like it. Like, hey, your ass better be here. All right. Hey,
and
what's going to happen now is I'll sleep right through my alarm. That's what's going to happen.
Well, you're a night owl. We have everybody covered 24/7. Do not forget, if you're not a crew member, I encourage you to join right now. Our Sweet 16 preview is up there. Also, we have a crew exclusive segment that we do every single day. So join the crew there. Also, later today, 3 p.m. Eastern time, DTL Golf. Join us there live. And one last thing, Tom wants me to react to the Rock situation and what happened last night. We are taping the next episode of Behind the Turnbuckle. So I encourage you to subscribe there. And you can get all my reactions to Monday Night Raw, SmackDown, all that kind of stuff. We've got a lot of stuff going on. And one final shout out and thank you to the good people at Gold Bar Whiskey. This is how you get my attention. Incredible stuff. For more on this, go to goldbarwhiskey.com. Who knows? Maybe we'll see them more on the show. You never know. But thank you for that. All right, it is now time for you to go out into the world, for you to pay it forward. Be kind to one another. And understand this is just a small part of your day. How you go around what we do is the mark of a true gentleman or gentlewoman. So with all that being said, there's only one thing left to do. And I believe you all know what that is. You've got your marching orders. Let's take all of these tickets straight to the pay window. My attacker, level. The legend, Howie Schwab. The man from the dirty Charles. Our guy who knows all about the numbers, Raphael. My 5-tool player, AB. And never forget about producer man behind the scenes, always making the show look like $1 million. We grind for you so we can win with you. It's truly what we're all about right here every single day at Driving the Line. Good luck.